Hey everyone, I'm Jack Fossett, and this is the Vick Audio Mount Pleasant Overdrive. This is a Blues Breaker inspired overdrive, and it's pretty faithful to the Blues Breaker sound with some key modifications. It has a bit more power and a bit more gain, has kind of a nice even response to it and everything, and it has this great high cut switch. You've got no cut in the middle, which is your standard, high cut 1 and high cut 2. Now high cut 1 actually cuts more treble, high cut 2 cuts a little less treble. As you just heard in the video, it's very easy to just say, oh, well, no cut sounds better. And in a lot of situations, no cut sounds great. It's a very clear sound. It's got that really nice Blues Breaker character to it. However, if you're playing into a bright rig, and particularly when you get to stage volumes, high cut 1 and high cut 2 can all of a sudden become really, really attractive. Just to roll off a little bit of that top end that can get really piercing when your amp starts getting quite a bit louder. So even though I'm sure in the video I kind of find it sounds best on no cut, those are really, really useful switches for a lot of different applications. Just gives you an extra tonal flexibility in figuring that out. Now, quality-wise, I love Vick Audio. They make great pedals for very inexpensive, relatively speaking, and tone wise I'd stack this up against just about any Blues Breaker overdrive out there, of which some of them are getting ridiculously expensive. Some of the used ones are just this like, well, this is a rare one, there's only 100 other ones out there, so I feel like $550 is the appropriate price for this. What is going on in the used pedal market? It's just crazy. Anyway, Vick Audio pedals are very modestly priced for how good they are, and again, I would stack this up with pedals that cost twice as much as far as the quality of build and the quality of tone. Now you'll notice this one is in this really lovely kind of brilliant blue enclosure. This is a custom one. Little quick bit about my story with this pedal, and that is that I used to have one of the first runs of the Vick Audio Mount Pleasant when it first came out, and in fact I was one of the first ones to demo it. I've had a long-running history of working with Vick Audio. His name is Mike. He's a great pedal builder. He's a really nice guy, and I've loved working with him. And at one point when times got a little bit tough, I needed to sell off a bunch of gear, and I had to sell off some pedals, but that one always with the intention of getting one back, and I eventually got one back and asked him to make it for me in this great custom enclosure. So I think that's about the best endorsement I could give to this, is that I've been really lucky to play and to own a lot of different pedals, and this was one that when I sold it the first time, I sold it with the thought of okay, but I'm getting that back. That's one that needs to kind of stay with me and everything. It just, I'm sure, as all of you know, sometimes gear needs to be somewhat liquid when, when you need money and everything. So that was that situation, but I'm very pleased to have gotten this one back. So this is just kind of something that I wanted to share with you because it's a pedal that I love. It's a pedal that I use. The blues breaker circuit in general is probably, when push comes to shove, my favorite overdrive circuit. I do love tube screamers too. Those are probably my second favorite, and a pretty close second. And there are probably some tube screamers that I like better than certain blues breakers, but this is an excellent blues breaker. I haven't played anything that necessarily surpasses this. It's a great pedal. Now, you've just heard it with single coils playing a Stratocaster. For this demo, I'm playing into a VHT D-Fifty. For the next part, I'm going to play Gibson SG, and I'm going to run it into the VHT amp set on its overdrive mode so that you can hear what this sounds like if you're pushing an amp that's already overdriven or going into a drive channel. It's not a ton of overdrive, but just to hear how it interacts with that. And I'm going to do something kind of unique at the end. I got this idea from Rick at Living Room Demos, who is also actually a friend of mine. He's a nice guy. We talk about being dads and stuff. He does great videos. He doesn't need my shout out because his channel is so successful and he does such great work and everything. But I'll give him a shout out anyway because he's just a nice guy and does great videos and everything. Well, he did this really cool video actually about the Boss Super Overdrive and about how Queens of the Stone Age used it as a treble booster by turning the gain all the way off, turning the level and the tone all the way up. It's a really cool sound. It just got me thinking, why couldn't you do that with other overdrive pedals? It seems like a cool idea, and overdrives are most pretty similar, a little more similar than we might like to admit at times. Kind of overdrive pedals are like blues singers. They all sing with a different, unique voice, but they're singing kind of the same music. Let's say that. So anyway, we're going to go through the similar settings, but then at the end, I'm going to do that setting where we turn the gain all the way off, the level all the way up, and the tone all the way up. And I'm going to do that on high cut 2. Roll a little bit of that top end off just because it is kind of an extreme setting and everything, but I think it sounds really cool and I think it works really well with the VHT. So I'm going to do that setting kind of inspired by Rick and show you what that sounds like, as well as just the other standard kind of settings on this pedal. So let us know what you think. Also, if you want one of the ones in a custom enclosure, make sure you ask Mike about it. Send him an email. Any of his pedals, I believe that he can do in various custom colors and things. I really like this one in this blue finish. It's kind of a royal powder blue. Kind of makes me think of a slightly lighter Lake Placid blue finish. Great finish. Great pedals by Vick Audio. Check out the Mount Pleasant. Stick around for some tones with the Gibson SG. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you.